Hello and welcome to Studio 22, live from Oklahoma City University inside Walker Center, brought to you by the Mass Communications Department. I'm your host, Veronica Harjo, and joining me today is Tracey Harjo, who's here to show us a unique talent and hobby, so stick around to join the fun. Hello, welcome. I have here with me today Tracey Harjo, who is, my mother, and she is here to show us her scrapbooking skills. So, hi.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm doing great.
Yeah, thank you for coming all the way from work.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
So, scrapbooking, for those people who may not know, just tell us a little bit about it. Like, what is it?
Okay. Scrapbooking means a lot of things to a lot of different people, but for me, in simple terms, it means removing your pictures out of the scrapbook, the photo albums that you typically have them in, and kind of doing other things with them, showcasing them on the wall, at work, on the refrigerator, just taking them out of the books. That's what scrapbooking means to me.
Okay. What kind of things could people do with scrapbooking? Like why do people do it?
It's just a way to kind of, when your photos are in the photo album, they're kind of hidden, and you don't get to take a look at them very often, and go long terms in between looking at them. So it's kind of a way to take the pictures out and display them where they're more accessible to you more often, whether that's on the wall. You can do pictures where they're 3D, have a 3D effect. You can do gifts for people, such as small photo albums that people can put on the fireplace. They can mount them different places.
So essentially, we're just like it's like spicing up food, giving it more flavor.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's cool. And also, I wanted to point out that you in fact had your own store a long time ago. Me and my sister used to go to that all the time. Tell us about your store.
Yes, so it's kind of a dream come true for me. 2004, I actually opened up a retail scrapbook supply store, and I had that for about 4 years, and I loved it. So for 4 years, not only did I run the store, clean the store, I did all the ordering, I did my own accounting. I also held classes, so people who didn't know much about scrapbooking, we had beginners classes, advanced, so that people could come in and continue to learn technique and skill in the art of scrapbooking.
And you brought me and Rachel along all the time too.
Yes, well, you were small, and so there were days when you were not in school, and so I would have you in the store with me, and we had a little play area for you to
yeah, and
play.
Other kids too, which
Yes.
we didn't enjoy. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Like, what kind of, what's your favorite type of scrapbooking? Like, do you just like doing stuff for the house mainly?
Mainly I do for the house, so I have a lot of things displayed on the walls. I definitely like 3D scrapbooking, so that's kind of adding lots of detail to your pages, so they kind of pop, and they're not just plain and flat.
Yeah, like we said, spicing up that food.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, well, I think that's it for now. We're going to take a really quick break, but stay tuned for more. We're going to learn a little bit more about some tools and stuff. All right, let's get this stuff out. We got 2 minutes worth.
OCU is smart, fun, cute, driven, so busy, expressive, exciting. But you know this, you go here. OCU is my school.
No. Just what do you think you are doing, Dave? I really think I'm entitled to an answer to that question. I can see you're really upset about this. I know I've made some very poor decisions recently, but I can give you my complete assurance that my work will be back to normal. Dave, stop, will you? Will you stop, Dave?
My name is Eric.
Hello and welcome back. I'm still here with Tracey, and she is going to show us some of her examples of her favorite scrapbooks and some tools. So why don't we start with the examples?
Okay. So the first one I have here is kind of, I took, we have a lot of old photos that maybe are given to us by our grandparents or our parents. And so I've kind of taken these old photos here and I've kind of put them into a, it's kind of a vintage look. But you can see we have various small pictures. We have some current pictures that are just kind of representative of, for some of it's your dad's when he was young, and then his dad and your grandmother. So we just kind of added them in different pages. And it gives you a chance to kind of, you can get quotes.
There's Jake.
That's our first dog.
Yeah.
What's good about this is you can have family members actually write small notes. You get to see their signature. Maybe they want to say something about the photo that makes them remember. And it's just kind of a good, it's a great gift actually.
Yeah.
If you were going to give this to a relative. It takes a little bit of time to kind of put it together, but putting the pictures together is fun. You can see we have some pictures of your grandfather, his first resume. We actually have his first report card from 1947. So it's
cool.
just kind of a really neat way to put maybe their first
Almost
school
like
pictures.
a time capsule.
Definitely, it's definitely like a time capsule. So that's the first example that I have. That's probably one of my favorites. I gave that to your dad, and I think that's one of the things
Let's
he
show
likes
one of
the
the
most.
frames you can hang on the wall. Like you can hang on anywhere in your house.
This is one of my favorites. Every year we would take you guys trick-or-treating, and this was one of my favorite places. This gentleman kind of really, his house was beautiful. So anytime I would get a great picture like that meant something to me, I will take that picture and kind of bring it out of the photo album, and you can see around it is just the Halloween theme.
Yeah, that's cool. Just kind of adds a little bit more to the picture rather than just like, oh yeah, that's a picture of us trick-or-treating. It really adds to the picture.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
gives
So that's
the
one
whole
of my
theme.
favorites.
And one more.
And this third one is one of my favorites. This is you at Christmas time, and it was the reason I pulled the picture out and decided to frame it was a very unusual winter. It was probably 75 this day, and so we were outside taking pictures.
It's not too unusual nowadays.
Not too unusual, yes.
It's Oklahoma.
So I just took several pictures of you outside, and this is one of my favorite photos that I decided to.
That was when I was chubby. Anyway, so now let's move on to some tools. Let's show what you got here. All
right.
your little gadgets.
Probably the most important thing to me as a scrapbooker is my paper cutter.
Yeah.
So this allows me to cut paper in lots of different sizes, lots of different shapes, and that's kind of where you start with scrapbooking as your base. So that's the first thing.
Yeah. Remember, kids, size matters.
The rest of the tools, there's adhesives, which are very important. You can never have too much adhesive. You have double-sided tape. So there's lots of different ways that you would want to adhere your photos and your 3D objects that you're going to place on the paper. This type of tape here is for extra heavy items, so it's very sticky, and you would want to put like flowers and things with that. And then you also have...
oh, I loved playing with those when I was little.
You guys did a lot of that. These
We
right
stuck
here,
it everywhere.
these are 3D blocks, and so anything you would want to pop up off the page, you would just put the blocks behind it.
Yep, we definitely use those a lot.
And then you have glue dots for small things. So those are kind of the adhesives. Those are very important to you. Some of the other items I have are you can cut paper in different shapes, different circle sizes. This one here rounds the corners of the paper, so it's great to just to change the look of your photo and or your paper.
Okay.
This is a sander, what you might think of as a sander for your fingernails, but if you'll look at this picture right here, you can actually see I've used the fingernail file on the edges to kind of take off some of the page.
Okay.
Kind of helps it pop, so that's one of the tools. It's one of my favorite tools.
What about that hammer right there?
This would be used for eyelets, so if you wanted to add some eyelets, traditional what you'd think of as eyelets to your page. You have lots of tools here to actually make the holes.
You are like a mechanic with all these different tools.
Different size tools. You can make different size shapes of holes to put ribbon in. Like this one right here is kind of wide, so that would produce a wide hole on your page, and you would then probably put ribbon through. So really it's kind of, it's a creative art, and it's really the sky is the limit on what you would want to do.
Yeah,
so
this is a lot.
It is a lot. We have...
I don't know how you memorize all this stuff.
We have items if you had some rub-ons that you wanted to put on your photo or your paper. This actually is a tip to help use rub-ons, so those are very popular. One of the most, my favorite tools is the Sizzix. So you actually have a cutout. This right here actually would look like a flower when you got done with it. So it's kind of hard to imagine, but you would actually cut the paper out, and then you're going to fold it along the different creases here, and you're actually going to make a different size and shapes of flowers.
That's cool.
So that's one of my favorite tools that I own.
All right, well, you can demonstrate that on the next segment because we have to take a short break right now, but stay tuned. We'll show you how all this stuff works.
There are plenty of teams in every sport that have great players and never win titles. Most of the time, those players aren't willing to sacrifice for the greater good of the team. One thing I believe to the fullest is that if you think and achieve as a team, the individual accolades will take care of themselves. Talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships.
This is my city. This is where I learn, play, work, eat. This is my city. This is my home.
Hello there, folks. It looks like a beautiful day today at Oklahoma City University. On the north side, we have a 100% chance of support and hard work as the sports teams make some wins. And on the east side of campus, there's a front of beautiful music and performances coming in, so you can look forward to that. And on the south side near the quad, we're seeing a high chance of students relaxing and soaking up the sun. I'm seeing some hammocks too. And on the west side is getting a strong breeze of Z's. Students in dorms catching up on some sleep after some schoolwork. I'm Cameron Calloway. Enjoy the OCU weather.
Hello, and we are back again for some more scrapbooking fun. All right, so what are we doing now? We're just kind of showing off the process.
Yeah, so I have lots of paper here and lots of different sizes. So as I showed you earlier, you had a paper cutter, and so then you kind of want to begin to figure out what paper you're going to put together. So I kind of have a series here of about 3 different shades of paper. So you can see kind of how they're cut.
Yeah.
And then you're just going to want to start layering your paper. So from there, it's just about your creativity. It's about where you place things on the page. Do you want things straight? Do you want things at an angle? Do you want borders? So you can kind of see how a page is going to start taking
So it's technically
shape.
about what you want. It's not, no one has to be like good at it.
There's
I
not a
guess. Like,
there's not a defined order to scrapbooking. There are two divisions. There are traditional scrapbookers who only like things flat, like this. Something like this with a 3D effect would drive them
nuts.
over the edge. Yes. So there's a traditional, and then there are scrapbookers like me who the more 3D
you
the
do
better.
this stuff.
Yes. The more it pops, the taller it is, the better.
Again, size matters. See the recurring theme here? Anyway, so what are we doing now?
So
Just
next, so it's just all about picking out paper that you really like. So you can kind of see this one right here, how I have a back base brown page. Then I've kind of layered it with green, and then I've put a little bit of border here, and then one strip here to kind of overlap these two pages. So again, the sky is the limit. It's all about picking the paper that you like. Most paper comes in themes, so you can kind of see these first 4 pages here. You can see they are themed, and they definitely match. And a lot of pages, if you turn them over, they're double-sided.
Okay.
So as you're cutting paper, you can kind of see it all matches proportionately.
All right. Well, do you want to show us, maybe like give us a little preview of like what you would do? Maybe use these papers right here and just kind of show us, what you would do with them.
Okay. Well,
Like
since these are cut, if you would like, I can.
Okay.
go ahead.
Yeah.
So these right here are kind of pre-cut, and you can see I would start layering here. I could look at they're double-sided, so if I wanted to put a picture here, then I would just kind of start placing things. Before you will glue anything down, you're going to definitely want to kind of put everything on the page. And then obviously you want to figure out how many pictures am I going to put on the page. Am I going to put one like I did on a couple of the examples that I showed, or do you want many pictures? 1 to 4, 1 to 6, you've got to decide. And then you may want to go single page layout. You may want to do a double page layout where you're taking the paper and you're producing a second page, so they're side by side.
Okay.
So that is the possibilities really are endless. You can make ribbons with paper. You can buy ribbon. We have lots of things that you can buy at the store. You can see these are little wooden deer. It's really endless. There's some snowflakes that are made out of wood. We even have a little witch's broom that you can place on your pages.
All right. That's cool. So, okay, we're going to take a quick break, and we can start gluing some of the stuff together. So, but we're going to take a quick break right now.
Oklahoma isn't your room. So don't trash it.
Some people don't think it's easy to be green. Audrey does it every day. Turn off appliances when they're not being used. Shut off the lights when you leave a room. Always recycle paper. Recycle plastic, too. Today, Audrey did her part in helping OCU conserve. It's that easy. Have you done the same? Visit okcu.edu/bluegoesgreen for more information.
The Stars in retreat. The shot goes up. Devasane comes out of nowhere, and another block for OCU. This guy's on fire. This kid owns OCU's record in blocks not only on the court, but off the court as well. Earlier today, he was busy crashing the boards. Just a rebounding machine. Even cleaning up the glass, giving a whole new meaning to garbage time. Devasane, MVP on the court, and keeping Oklahoma beautiful off the court.
All right, welcome back. So what are we going to do now? Are we going to put some stuff together?
That'd be probably a good idea. So once you've kind of decided on what paper that you like, so we're just going to grab something because there's so much here, and you can kind of get distracted when you start looking at all the different pretty paper.
Show me a little bit, like let me kind of
okay.
try to put something together.
Okay, so there's that's a piece of paper that we've picked, and we've got a few things right here that you're going to maybe put a picture on, and maybe we're going to put on something where you can like journal. You can talk a little bit about the picture if it means anything to you. You can put dates, you can put places, kind of how to identify it, and then we can put just a little bit of something. So here's a glue gun.
I like that flower, by the way, too. I'm going to use that.
Okay.
Spice it up a bit.
So your glue gun, it's called a glue gun. So you're just going to kind of take it along the picture and kind of roll it. And then whenever you get done with all of your parts, then you're just going to kind of place them on the page. So I'll let you glue these here down.
Okay. Okay, let's do this. All right.
Now hold it there towards you.
Okay.
Yeah, pull it towards you. There you go. Really easy. Double-sided tape is available at any store. You can always, if you're not comfortable,
is it working?
this does not work. So you're just pretending you're gluing it down.
We're supposed to actually, but anyway, I'm not very creative. I'm gonna put it right there because there's a lot going on in here.
Yes. So if let's say you glued all these down, then you're just kind of placing them on the page. You're placing any kind of journaling that you have. If you want to change it before you glue it down, it's a good idea to place it on the page as well.
Okay.
So
let me see if I can come up with. I'm gonna put this guy up here because we got all this going on over here, so we
and you don't have to cover up the paper if you don't. It's really pretty, so it's kind of up to you where you'd like to place everything.
Let's do that right there, and then slap that down right there.
Yes.
Okay. Angle that a little bit.
And then you've chosen a huge a metal flower. So then you're going to want to make sure that when you put that on here, how are you going to display it on the wall? So you're likely going to need some sort of a shadow box or something that
What's
allows.
that?
Shadow box is just a deep frame that allows you to put things on the page that are going to not be squished.
So I definitely need like a frame like you showed earlier.
Yeah,
like
something it's like they call them shadow boxes. So they're a little bit more expensive, but yet you can still display your objects.
This is probably gonna be a little bit to take out. Oh no, it sticks. It sticks.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's probably got some double-sided tape on it as well.
All right, well, stick that bad boy
right there.
Haha.
Yep. So then you're going to end up with, here's an example you're going to end up with. So you can see some of the techniques that I used. This was your dad in a werewolf costume,
Just being
and he was
goofy.
at Sonic, so it was really kind of a great night for us. You can see I've used a rub on here, so I showed you that tool earlier. Here are some cardboard numbers that kind of represent 2007.
That was the year we did that.
Yes, that we were out trick-or-treating. You can see I've done more rub-ons here. I've used my fingernail file to do the edges of this picture here. And I actually used a rub-on here that actually looks like stitching, but you can actually sew on pages as well. I've done that before. So, like I said, the sky...
I'm not a sewer, so that's probably not something I would use unless I got really good at it. But, for those who are very skilled in this, go all out.
It is. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it, and learning new techniques is kind of what it's all about, not being afraid to make a mistake because it's just paper and you can always start all over.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, so do you want to glue anything else together?
Well,
let's use, oh no.
Here we go. We've got, now some of your items come back with glue already, so you can see this one right here is pretty sticky.
That's easy.
So then you don't necessarily need double-sided tape. You can just do that. It's adhered.
Just save. Why can't stuff come out like that?
A lot of stuff is made that way, so you won't need to.
That saved me a lot of time from all that gluing. There it is. That's what I wanted to use. This is
Toby and Harley.
Yep, this is our dogs. This is when how old were we? This was like...
You were about 14.
Probably. But yeah, that's our dog Harley. She's still alive. That's Toby. He's not with us anymore, but we still love him.
Yeah, it's a very important picture to our family. So this would be something that we would want to display.
I definitely lay it in the middle because the center of attention,
Yep.
All right, well that looks pretty good. Not bad for a beginner. I've done stuff like this before in your store, but
A little bit, yes.
I mean, I was just doing what children do, just kind of
Definitely, yes.
just laying stuff wherever, like in random spots.
And since the product was for sale, I didn't allow you guys to do too much, too heavy.
Oh wow.
Well, you were small and you were learning, so there were lots of scrapbooking. There were lots of scraps for you guys to use as you developed your skill.
We weren't really developing our skill. We were just being kids.
That's true. That's true. And it wasn't really your interest. This has to be your interest. I mean, it has to be something you love. You definitely have to have a passion for it. It's a hobby. It's something that I would do without being paid. Just something to show how much I love my family. And it's an art and a skill I still continue to develop.
Definitely.
Something I'll probably do forever.
It's like one of those things anybody can do, but only like people who really love it can actually do it good.
Yeah,
So.
because it does take time. It's just like anything else, practicing basketball, practicing your skills. You do have
Well,
to.
I'm just trying to figure out the layout. Especially if you're not very creative, it's going to take a little bit of time.
There are pages that, here's one right here that's already been sewn.
Well, I'm going to have to stop you right there because we're unfortunately out of time. But thank you for joining us today, and thank you for taking time out of your day to come talk with us.
Chet is a 21-year-old college student. Luther is an 11-year-old fifth grader. Chet likes to play frisbee. Luther prefers video games. Chet likes to eat an apple for breakfast. Luther likes to eat sugary cereal. Chet has a girlfriend. Luther thinks girls have cooties. Chet is Luther's big brother. Hundreds of kids are waiting on you to become their big brother or big sister. Contact Big Brothers Big Sisters of Oklahoma today to learn how you can make a difference.
Let's try that again. Keep Oklahoma beautiful. For more information, visit www.keepoklahomabeautiful.com.
I don't work a 9 to 5, but I have a job to do. I don't wear a tie, but I still wear a suit in my court.
My field of work is an average, and my time around the water cooler is limited.
I work overtime, but the payoff is worth it.
I don't work a 9 to 5, but I have a job to do. I'm an OCU athlete.
I'm an OCU athlete.
I'm an OCU athlete.
I'm an OCU athlete.
Hello, welcome back. And I just wanted to ask one quick question before we leave for good. For those who maybe have interest in scrapbooking, but don't know how to learn it, where would they go to learn?
There are some stores in your area that specialize in scrapbooking. They have classes. There's all the product you could ever need. Hobby Lobby, Michael's, those are some stores to start at to buy your product. And then you just need to start cutting the paper and get to work.
Okay, that's cool. Well, anyway, we're done for the day. Thank you for coming out, and hope you enjoyed the show.